here. Mel Robbins, Lisa Miller, a scientist, clinical psychologist, researcher, written a book about the awakened brain. And they're just talking, or Mel is feeding back on page 58 or 57, that there's a spiritual nervous system, 1/3 innate, 2/3 environmentally cultivated by the company key, maybe the practices, I can't remember. But this 1/3 innate suggests that essentially we could be spiritual beings designed for that spiritual journey. It's blown my mind because it is transcending my mind into something that is core to my consciousness, which has already been working on this page for a long, long time. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, the nature, the universe, the energies, and it is something that could lead to better mental health, for which I think as a global society we are facing a crisis, as well as an environmental crisis. There's good research that shows the connection of these two things. So we have to protect our spiritual mindsets, our spirituality, we have to grow it, and we have to protect our nature, the beautiful things. First step is to awaken. How I relate to this, how I relate to people who are theistic, based on religion, or people who are atheistic, myself, a combination. But there is, in a sense, a high universal force. Star Wars called it the Force, but there is a force. And the other thing is, to me, it is a spiritual journey. I'm a physical being having a spiritual journey. Every part of it, every bit of it is interconnected. Now, people have said to me, oh, well, you just draw connections, but there could be lots of disparate parts. And definitely possible. How is it possible? When you ask about it in a critical nature of this happened at this time and this happened and this happened. So many stories. How I turned up to an apartment in Bondi and I saw my girlfriend at the time's name written in a box, Sanna, Swedish name, and there was a Swedish couple in Bondi in Sydney, and it was the last apartment that I was going to give up looking for a place. And I thought, well, how will this ever work? I need to get an apartment, a studio apartment, so then I can try and convince her to come back to Australia from Sweden. This is 15 years ago. Or I was knocked out by a whale surfing, saying hello. Next thing you knew, something happened. Big dent in my surfboard. I'm out of it. Unconscious. Near-death experience. And it is, and I'm unscathed. Go straight into St. Vinny's ED, saying hello to Sanna, how you going? Nothing. Could have had a spinal injury. Thank God I didn't. But I'm grateful for that other chance, not being drowned, saved by Chris, pulled up. What did I rescue? But how did that happen? How did he get a dent in the board? And there's no head injury, as far as we know. No CT scan done. Good emergency medicine it was. And discharged within 4 hours. And here I am. Multiple instances I've had where, how did these things just work out? I have story after story. And sometimes not work out, but still, there's a connection. As if I've been guided. As if it's part of a master plan, Not always pleasant. But the more that I let go and go with the flow, the more that I feel I grow in the direction of the path that I'm meant to grow. So there you have it. More reflections